I have been training calisthenics for more than 10 years, and I can spot someone who doesn't understand training from across the gym. The biggest mistake that you might be making is this. Let me paint you a picture of your trainings. You have been stuck on the same skills for many months, maybe even years at this point. On Mondays you're practicing some kind of a planche, on Tuesdays you're doing 100 pull-ups to increase your endurance, and on Wednesday you're trying out weighted calisthenics. Because you heard on social media that doing weighted calisthenics is the key for all of your fucking problems. And you're constantly switching every single approach, never sticking to actually anything. I kid you not, there are so many people like this. But that is totally fucking wrong. Does this sound familiar? You might become confused or even frustrated, and you might doubt yourself that everyone was right. You had bad genetics. You aren't built for this. You will never, ever be able to learn the planche. To me, this shit feels like it was yesterday, but for now, it has been too many years. Here is what is actually happening. You're making one of the biggest mistakes when it comes to calisthenics training. You are confusing activity with progress, and you don't understand what type of training will give you the desired results. You think that calisthenics training is all the same. You are doing random shit and expecting different results. And yet, you literally look the same as if you started training yesterday. Your body has no idea what the hell it needs to adapt to because you are constantly changing the stimulus. And this mistake comes in different forms. I roughly estimate that 65% of you are literally doing random shit because you heard the term intuitive training and you thought it meant to follow your feelings and do what you want. You gotta be joking. We never do the things we want. We always do the things we fucking hate.
Example, following the planche progressions when learning the planche. Instead, most newbies are doing weighted dips and expecting to hold a straddle planche. The progression steps feel hard, so you avoid it entirely. Stop that. You are coping.
About 30% of you actually know what it means when I say intuitive training. Auto-regulating training. And you are consistently making progress. And the 5% of you are the genetic freaks who are trying to sell different kinds of programs to people with problems you never had. Hey, that was a joke. I was stuck in the same mistake for more than 6 years. Straight. I was literally the king of random exercises. I wanted to be skilled, jacked, and have crazy endurance all at the same time. I wanted a planche so badly that I tried absolutely everything. I did countless amount of normal push-ups for many months. I even transitioned from push-ups to dips, thinking that if I get my dips super strong, I might be better at the planche. Then I did my weighted dips, expecting for a full planche, because, well, they felt harder. And then I did some resistance band work, because I thought, well, that is more optimized. I was training constantly, but I was getting absolutely nowhere. And the results was that I was absolutely mediocre at everything. I didn't have the dope-ass body. I was extremely weak when it came to skills. And at max, I would do 12 pull-ups on a good day. And you know, the saddest part of all of it, I didn't even look like I trained. I still don't, but that is a separate video, so stay tuned for that. And just like you, I was wondering why the fuck was everyone else making faster gains than me. Yet I was saying to myself I was training. This is the most simplest explanation I can possibly give you. So here is what you need to understand. There are 3 different types of trainings that create totally different outcomes. The path number 1 is skills. For an example, people who purely focus on only the body weight skills, any calisthenics skill, their trainings typically look like this. They do extremely frequent skill sessions throughout the week. Their intensity level is quite low, but in general their overall weekly volume is quite high, and they are practically doing it for the sake of having the neural adaptation. Meaning, the nervous system and the joints and everything in between gets trained more than the actual muscles. That is cap. But this is how I like to say it. They stay quite light, lean, and they are incredibly strong for their size. Think of elite gymnasts. So, with this in mind, if you want to look jacked and have as much muscle as possible, would you go with that path? No! So here comes the second path, the muscle builders. This path is generally used for doing hypertrophy work, meaning when you're doing anything that is related to building more muscle mass, you need to work in the ranges of 8 to 12 reps. Typically, you need to slow the tempo down. And especially when it comes to calisthenics, doing 8 reps, that will get easy extremely fast. Then you're going to add extra weight to your body when needed. And these guys are the ones who actually look like they train. Unlike me, they prioritize muscle growth and size over skills. And the path 3 is the endurance. Meaning, calisthenics guys who love to do extremely high volume. 20 plus reps for each set. They either do circuit training or they do pyramids. Whatever. The approach doesn't matter. They build extremely good work capacity while staying quite compact size-wise. And in this case, think marathon runners. They're not extremely jacked, but they're definitely fit. Most of you guys are mixing all 3 of these different approaches, training styles, into fucking one thing. You are literally like a confused amateur and you aren't seeing any results in none of them. And this is exactly how this kind of mixing actually destroys you making gains. You switch exercises before your body actually gets the chance to adapt to them. You are wasting time on movements that will not get you to your goals faster. If you still believe that doing weighted dips will increase your planche or will give you planche specific strength, you are frankly mistaken. And those bad form rubber band assisted planche holds will not give you the correct planche position. For hyper specific results, you need to do hyper specific movements. You are spreading your efforts so thin that you will never be good at anything. This is exactly how I would put it. If you want to learn the piano, why the fuck are you learning to play the guitar and the drums at the same time if your only objective is to learn to play the piano? But most of you guys are juggling with every fucking instrument and expecting to be great with the piano. What the fuck? Sure. They're all music instruments, but that's not how it works. So here is exactly what you need to do right now. Pick your lane, your desired goal, and understand the basic training concept. Hypertrophy training, aka muscle building, is done in the rep range of 8 to 12. Endurance training, meaning stamina building, is done with 15 plus reps. Strength training, aka general power building, is 1 to 6 reps. And skill progressions are hyper-specific movements. Then I want you to pick one primary goal. If you want to look muscular and jacked, focus on path number 2. Train in the hypertrophy rep ranges whilst progressively overloading and add weights when needed. So simple. You want to master the planche or the handstand? Focus on path 1. Train those movements as frequently as you possibly can. Stay light and prioritize the neural adaptation. And if you want extreme endurance, like doing 20 pull-ups in one go, focus on path number 3. Train with extremely high volume and build your work capacity. I presume you understand the concept, because these are just some examples. There are a variety of things that will take you from point A to point B. And if you have the brain cells, you already understand what needs to be done to go from A to B. Video complete example. When I decided I wanted to be more muscular, I temporarily set back from loose skills and purely focused on the muscle building for a few months. And the results were there. I gained about 4 to 5 kilograms in about 6 months. And of course, it was not all pure muscle. And no, I did not do the method. I just did some weighted pull-ups, weighted dips, some incline bench presses, biceps, and I did everything with a slow and controlled tempo. Actually feeling and squeezing the muscles. I did everything that is designed for building muscle. And my bench and front lever rest quite a significant amount. But as well, on say, total output on a few significant kilograms. Then after I did my breath work for some months or in general muscle building phase, let's say, then I switched back to skills, and what I found out was that the extra muscle that was built and the extra strength which I got actually helped me with the strength in the long run. But the key was between one goal and sticking with it for a fine. And for a total beginner, if you can do less than 10 pull-ups and less than 20 dips, or in general, for anyone who wants to be an all-rounded guy, I suggest you start with the endurance aspect. Just get your body weight numbers up, and then head into the hypertrophy phase. Once you've gained some strength and overall muscle, then you can start to train for the actual skills. But since I'm talking in generalities, only you know when you are ready. So the key thing I want you to leave with: organize your training towards a specific outcome. Okay? Understand what actually needs to be done for the X result. And once you have reached the phase when you want to spread everything out or you want to do different approaches, then the best thing for you to do is to start periodizing your workouts. Just understand where are you going and what steps do you need to take there. Once you're there at your goalpost, find another goalpost. So, what is it going to be? Are you gonna continue training like a fucking random ass newbie, looking the same forever, skinny, unconfident, or are you actually going to pick a lane and get results? Comment down below which phase are you going to choose. I am currently working on the skills, and in a few months, I'm gonna switch back to hypertrophy, just to get overall better. Because my goal is to train till I'm fucking 95. Stop doing random shit and start training with an actual purpose. Understand which of these 3 paths you need to take in order to get your desired result. Learn everything about it. I hope this helped someone. Thank you for watching, and let's make calisthenics great again!